taken a look at your home's insulation levels, it's time to move on to the second stage of our home energy audit, and that's looking for air infiltration or air leaks. And Greg Hobbs from DMEA is joining us. Greg, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. Okay, air infiltration. Now, you were telling me earlier kind of a shocking statistic about how much air we lose through the average home.
On a typical home, if I were to take a sledgehammer and knock a 16-inch diameter hole into the side of an outside wall, that's how much air is escaping out through the home.
And that's a lot of money, basically,
out
the windows and doors.
Yes.
And, okay, so speaking of windows and doors, two common culprits. This is an older home here. What's going on with this particular door?
Well, with any door, you want to check the weather stripping or the gasket that's inside here and make sure it has one, and if it doesn't, make sure the one you have is in good shape. This one is old, it's brittle, it's been painted. It really should be replaced. It's not doing a proper seal. And then close the door, and then you want to look for any daylight around any of the gaps, or if the wind's blowing, you want to see if you can feel any air moving through the door, especially the bottom portion of the door.
Now, if you see any of those things, are there some common products you can pick up?
There is. Any hardware store, they have weather stripping. They have a shoe, for instance, it will fit in the bottom of the door to help seal that up.
So very inexpensive products, easy to install.
Yes.
So that covers doors, but what about windows?
Windows, very major area. This, like we said, is an older home, has a single pane window. First of all, you want to make sure your windows are functioning properly. As you can see, this one is not. It's not even sitting in the grooves properly. So I can put my hand completely up there. So there's air loss, definitely in that. And then also, you want to take a look at the seal of the window itself. And you can see this at one time had caulking, but it has since dried up and it's cracked, and it really needs to be resealed.
So what can folks do for that?
Well, go down to your friendly hardware store and purchase a caulking gun and then some clear caulk, and then you just take it and you just shoot a bead all the way around the window and get that sealed up.
Now, what if you have a window that you want to be able to really work it in the caulk, but you don't want to do something permanent, something that's more temporary, that you want to be able to open the windows in the summertime?
They have a rope caulk that's like a Play-Doh type of material, and you can place it anywhere, seal it off, and then when you're done, you can pull it back off and discard it.
So it's not a permanent. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and it does a really good job.
And then also here, I see you have an insulation kit. What is this?
The hardware stores, once again, also will sell a whole kit, just an insulation kit where everything is included.
Okay.
So you don't have to buy everything separately. And that way, just
save you a little bit of money.
Exactly.
And a little bit of time. Oh, that's great. So windows and doors, two big areas, but certainly not the only ones in the house.
There's a lot of other areas. For instance, good example on an air conditioning unit in this home. This is an aftermarket air conditioning unit, and it's a window-mounted unit. And obviously, to mount it, they have to slide the window open, and place it in there. And then they put a piece of plexiglass to help seal it off. But obviously, they had to run some tape, or there's some gaps in between or on the sides of this air conditioning unit where air is coming in. So you could take some of that rope caulking that we just looked at and stuff in there and help seal that off. And then in the wintertime, when you're done using this, you want to completely take this out of the window and shut the window and make sure this window's properly sealed.
Now, speaking of winter, the home also features a wood-burning stove. What do homeowners need to be aware of on these?
Well, in the summertime, you want to make sure the damper is closed so air's not escaping. And also these air dampers in the front, make sure they're sealed up. Shut them all the way to seal that off. And then also, like the door, you want to look for cracks where it penetrates into the ceiling. And if it is, you want to get that sealed off with some heat-resistant caulking.
Now, speaking of air loss up into the ceiling, you were telling me attic access. That tends to be another problem in most homes.
It is, and we have a really good example of that in this home. Let's go take a look.
Perfect. Well, Greg, here we are in the home's utility room. And here's the attic access you were talking about. It's definitely seen better days. What's going on here?
Well, it's obviously got a huge crack right down the middle of it, so it's been broken in one time or another. So it needs to be replaced. You can just get another piece of sheetrock, cut it down to size, and take this one out and replace it with the new one. And then for added insulation, on the new piece, on the back side of it, go ahead and attach some fiberglass bat, and that adds some insulation.
Great. And then maybe use some of that rope caulking to kind of seal around.
You certainly can do that. Warm air is always going to migrate towards cold air, so you want to make sure you have a good seal so your warm, heated air in the wintertime isn't just going right up through the roof.
Now, another spot you were talking about, plumbing penetrations and wall outlets, and you said you had something to show us in
Yeah.
there as well.
Let's go look in the kitchen.
Okay. All right, Greg. Well, now we're in the kitchen. We're taking a look under this kitchen sink, and this must be the plumbing penetration you had mentioned.
It is. It's a great example. You can see where the plumbing penetrates the outside wall. There's a large gap there where they cut out for the plumbing. And this is a common problem in most homes. So this needs to be sealed to stop airflow.
And how should folks do that?
The easiest way is buy a can of expanding foam,
Oh.
spray it in there, let it expand out, and it'll seal off.
And it's not just on these under kitchen sinks, but really any plumbing penetration.
Any plumbing penetration, outside, inside wall, laundry rooms, bathrooms, check them all.
Doesn't matter, seal it up.
Seal it up.
Okay, now electrical outlets, another cause of concern. Nobody thinks to seal these up.
They really
right?
are. They're on the outside wall. They can let air penetrate through the outlet. And so there's a couple things you can do. For instance, I see you have a child-proof plug there. You
Yeah.
can just plug that right into the outlet itself.
And
That'll
that really
stop
makes
the
a
airflow.
difference.
That makes a big difference. Or if it's an outlet you use quite often, pull the faceplate off and then put one of these foam backings in there.
And I see you've got them both for the electrical outlets and then for light switches as
Yes,
well.
you want to do all of them. And do all your outside walls.
Wow. What else? We've taken a look at a lot of things. Is there anything else folks need to be aware of?
Well, there is in this house. Let's go outside. I want to show you something.
All right.
Well, Ryan, we're outside the house now, and what I want to show you is the doggy door, or the pet door. This is another big area of air infiltration. As you can see, it's like having a big 16-inch hole into the side of your house.
Pretty much just wide open.
It is pretty much wide open. They have taken some spray foam and foamed up in there to help, which helps a little bit, but it's still going to let a lot of air through. So basically, if you don't have it open all the time for your pets, then seal it off at night, use the cover, shut it down whenever possible. If you do need to leave it open all the time, at least buy a good double flap door that has a good magnet so it stays sealed as good as possible.
So really just a reminder for homeowners, whether it's a doggy door, a skylight, every home's going to be different. But really checking for those unique features on your home and trying to take those common sense steps that we've been talking about.
Exactly. It is common sense. Basically, just walk through your whole home, through the whole house, take a look, and seal up what you think needs to be sealed up.
Good words of advice. All right. Well, Greg, thank you so much.
Thanks, Ryan.